I know I'm in the middle of reviewing the Quentin Tarantino films. Actually, I've only just begun it. But a new film was released on DVD this week, and I thought I'd review that. Now, after I've done the Quentin Tarantino, there's going to be a Best of 2012 section. Then I'm planning to do both a zombie and video game collection. Now, the Resident Evil films fall under both because they're both zombie films and the video game adaptations, even though most of them have nothing to do with the video games. So I thought that I would start off by reviewing the latest Resident Evil, which came out this week, Resident Evil Retribution, which is actually the fifth in the series, excluding the animated versions, because they don't really lead on to the actual films. So it's the fifth one. Mila Jovovich comes back as Alice, or Project Alice. I'm not really sure which she is in this one, because while she's playing the same character, Project Alice actually has like superpowers and super abilities, which she ends up with at the end of the film. Now, I personally prefer this one to the one before, which was Afterlife, for the fact that we're not waiting half an hour to actually see zombies. It happens in the first 10 minutes. First sequence in the film is actually a slow motion sequence, which looks absolutely stunning. And it also goes backwards, so it starts off in the sea and she ends up back onto the boat and you slowly see what happens to her. Follows on directly from the last film, which all the Resident Evil films actually do. There's a lot of zombies in this one, and another reason why I like this one quite a lot is that it introduces some of the video game characters. We finally see Leon in it. Now, personally, I think that the series should have been about Leon in the first place, seeing as though he's the character in all films. Games, actually. But no, they didn't do that. They decided to introduce a character which actually has nothing to do with the games. We also see the return of Michelle Rodriguez and Colin Salmon. They were in the first ones. And there's a lot of characters return. You have to watch it for it to make sense why they're back. Basically, they're clones, and there's good clones and bad clones. Jill Valentine also returns. She was a character from the second one. There's a lot of points missing in this though, like what happened to Chris and Claire Redfield at the end of the last one, and the others. Not sure what happened to them. There's a huge gap there, which could be filled by the next film, or we may never find out. Or they could do a spin-off series for the films where we actually find out what happens. For this, I'd probably have to give it a 7 out of 10. It's probably the second strongest film in the series for me, and I personally think it was a good film. It could have been better sometimes. It felt like it was going on for a long time. Very good fight sequences, and I thought it was very good.